I'm sure you remember this fake demo that scared people off 8 years ago and went viral. Well, back then AI wasn't at all ready, and yeah, it was fake anyways. But today, this technology is possible. It's only a question of time. Look at this video again with our current technology in mind, and it's even more scary. Today, assembling a combat-ready drone can be done with less than $1,000, and it's super easy. You just need a frame for around $200 to $300, 4 motors totaling approximately $80, electronic speed controllers for roughly $120, a flight controller for $50, and a few other parts totaling around $800. Add a small charge of C4 and you've created a drone with the potential to engage targets from a safe distance. And here we are inflating the prices, as Ukraine uses drones that are less than 500 USD. This shows you the simplicity of creating a lethal drone with highly accessible components for less than $1,000. The power of these systems lies not just in their affordability, but in their tactical flexibility. Your hypothetical drone can now fly for approximately 30 minutes with a range of 5 kilometers, so you don't need to be super near to the target. In a city, 2 kilometers is already enough distance from the center to be at a safe distance. Now, as I said, it's already getting used. There's a lot of videos circulating of drone footage and it's horrible. You see soldiers begging for their lives under the drones, like they can't do anything. The drones are just too fast. The Ukrainian experience illustrates that low-cost systems can deliver high-impact results even when facing more traditional, expensive military hardware. For example, a lot of these drones can neutralize tanks that cost millions. According to this article, Ukrainians are using little kamikaze drones that cost less than 500 US. Now, just imagine a $500 machine that can take out a $4 million tank. It is truly a paradigm shift in modern warfare. And here we're talking about a couple of drones per attack piloted manually. So imagine a swarm of, let's say, 1,000 autonomous drones coming at you. Now, if we compare one of these drones with a missile like the ATACMS, a weapon that costs roughly $1 million per unit and can be launched with a range of 180 miles, one such missile is a singular high-value asset, easily targeted and intercepted given its cost and complexity. But what if instead of spending $1 million on one missile, you deployed 1,000 small drones, each drone individually expendable and far less costly, yet together they form an overwhelming swarm that saturates defense systems. Even if a few drones are shot down, the sheer number can create a level of saturation that conventional air defense systems can't counter. When hundreds of thousands of autonomous drones are coordinated to act as a unified force, their collective effect is exponentially greater than the sum of their parts. The cost effectiveness of these systems means that adversaries no longer need to invest in a high single value weapon. They can instead opt for swarm-based approach that is not only cheaper but far more adaptable. And if you think this is sci-fi, we're kinda already doing it. The same algorithm that orchestrates mesmerizing drone show, where hundreds of drones move in perfect synchrony, could just as easily be adapted for military applications. I mean, just look at the latest world record of Chinese drones doing a show. You can easily see how the same algorithm could easily be modified for, let's say, another purpose. And defense tech companies are already heavily developing these systems. Palantir's visual navigation system enables drones to operate in a GPS-denied environments by combining sensor data with advanced computer vision algorithm. With VNav, drones can autonomously navigate to complex environments, adapt in real time, and execute targeting maneuvers with minimal human oversight. And it's scary, but when you think about the $1 million missile example, it makes so much more sense to have a few hundred drones instead who are all independent and just kamikaze into the targets. Then there's Anduril Industries with their autonomous drones as demonstrated in their latest killer drone videos. The Interceptor 1, capable of reaching speeds of up to 200 miles per hour, is designed to locate and neutralize hostile UAVs, even incoming missiles, by ramming them. This approach dramatically shifts the cost to effectiveness ratio in favor of the attacker, and it's a strategy that traditional defense systems find difficult to counter. But the main danger of this technology is that while nation-states and established military contractors are pushing the boundaries of what technology is possible, the same technology is accessible enough that non-state actors and terrorist organizations would potentially exploit it. With a readily available component and off-the-shelf parts, the barrier to entry for developing lethal drones is alarmingly low. This democratization of destruction capability means that the next threat might not come from a conventional military power, but from a small group of individuals with, let's say, malicious intents. I don't want to scare you, but just imagine the following. A scenario where a terrorist organization deploys a swarm of drones or even a few manually operated ones to target a crowded stadium. The drones equipped with explosive could infiltrate the venue from above, entering undetected until it's too late. The drone's small size, low cost and speed would make them highly accessible and difficult to detect, if not impossible. Consider also the potential for unconventional deployment methods. Autonomous drones could be launched from hidden platform, whether it's an AI-powered boat hovering off the coastline or a submarine lying underwater. This platform could serve as stealthy launchpad, positioning swarms of drones just a few kilometers from the target without detection. We know that cartels use low-cost handmade submarines that are often undetected by the US to transport drugs. This submarine can sometimes even cross the Atlantic. Just imagine the same low-cost subs with hundreds of drones inside. The whole autonomous system could be launched from the other side of the planet and completely anonymously. We could be even more creative and imagine autonomous swarms programmed to attack in coordinated waves. The first wave might disable windows and structural elements, while the follow-up wave penetrates deeper into the enemy installation to maximize internal damage. Now these are just examples, and you could think of hundreds of ways in how autonomous swarms of explosive drones could do crazy damage for cheap and with components that everybody can buy. The true paradigm shift is that these drones can be created with common parts that everyone can buy, and this is new. Intercontinental missiles or nukes are very dangerous, but terrorist groups have no way to acquire them because of the complexity and cost of development. But they could easily buy hundreds of cheap drones and do terrible damage. I mean, again, just imagine a guy piloting his drone from the outskirts of a city. The drones have a distant capacity of like 5 kilometers, so for the police or army to find the guy, it would be anywhere in a 5-kilometer radius. And the guy could just take a car and go away, so max damage for cheap, undetectable. That's the world we live in. There are technology that can counter these drones, or at least some. For example, Ukraine is using radio wave jamming, which makes it hard or impossible to pilot such drones. But autonomous drones powered by AI have no need to communicate with the operator. And sure, the technology is probably not entirely ready, but with the staggering advancement of AI in the last few years, you can be sure that in 5 years this system will be mastered. You also have direct energy weapon that would aim lasers or microwaves at the drones and could hit them at the speed of light. But there again, in a swarm scenario, these weapons might be inefficient, plus they need a direct view of the target. And there are other defense systems that are being built as the technology and threat advances. But for now, the defense mechanism is not at all on par with the threat. I find these issues super interesting and been thinking about them for a few years now, so I had to get it out there. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about all that stuff, and I guess I'll see you soon. Sorry for the harsh end. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Bye bye.